What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Shower Talk podcast.
Welcome
Happy to have
back.
you guys here. Dude, let's get straight into it, yeah?
I'm down. I'm
Um,
down.
so, obviously, they don't see this, but while we're kind of like just sitting here, I got music going, and we kind of like start bumping, and we start chilling to whatever we got playing.
Getting the ambient ready.
Yeah, we feel it, and sometimes like we'll have worship, we'll have like different. It depends, right? Especially depending on what we're gonna be talking about or whatever the case may be, right? But I was playing music, and as I was playing it, I kind of started thinking like, because whenever I try to play music when I'm around certain people, I try to play music that group of people like, because I don't like to try to be based off of what I like. If you're that person, bro, I dislike
like
you.
only play your
Yeah,
playlist.
your type of music, and like for example, like some people play like corridos and banda, and it's like you have nothing but people that don't even
Yes,
speak
sir.
Spanish. Like it's like and some people hate that type of music. My wife doesn't like it, and so when she's around, I try not to play it. Sometimes, selfishly, I will.
No, you act a little rebellish.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
But when I'm in a group of people, no, I try to have it so that way everybody's enjoying it, right? So, honest opinion, I put on bangers, right?
Your playlist is good.
Oh, I know.
It's good.
Oh, I know.
It's it hits sometimes, to be honest, because then we're stuck in a position that we're like. To me, music is like I have to have it in the background, whether I'm at work, I'm cooking, or just in general, right? Something
Yeah, just like
going on in
filler
the
or
car,
something. Yeah.
right? But then I get into like habits of like playing the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So when I get into like those little, I go like let's see what Dylan got.
Yeah.
And that RB playlist sometimes
R&B?
though,
Yeah.
just
Oh yeah.
mellows you out, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Mellows you
That's
out.
that's that playlist for me. I think is my like when you like smell when you go to like Sephora or something and you're like constantly smelling something.
Yeah.
And then you grab your coffee beans to be able to
Yep,
neutralize
yep.
it. That's my R&B playlist, bro.
Yep.
Like it just
It
sets
just-
me back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It restarts like your. All right, let's see what else is out there.
Yeah.
Because I can listen to worship music. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I have to be doing something related to that specific topic
Okay, that's
listen to it.
interesting.
to listen to it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, oh, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go lift weights, and this is an idea.
Yeah.
A study.
Yeah.
A study that I did to myself.
Okay.
And I'm like, let's see how much more, how much more pump I can get listening to various types of genres of music.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously, I would put like the reggaeton or like the up tempo like
Yeah.
beat
Upbeat music. Yeah.
Obviously, you get motivated. Or like the rock and get a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back in the day, before we converted and we followed Christ, it was more of the Linkin Park. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like playlists, like,
AC/DC.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then when it came down to like putting softer music, it was like
Yeah. I couldn't get my pump in.
it was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to start crying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
No, I mean there are people though, like that I know that they play worship music primarily.
yeah,
Like I have a friend. Actually, he's my front door neighbor. So
Okay.
he just converted to Christianity not too long ago, and he's been going to church and stuff like that. And he and I started talking about it, about like music, and it's funny because he's like sometimes like I'll have people in the car and in his truck. He's got a big old lifted truck, right? And he's like sometimes like some of the homies will ask for like a ride, and and he says I'm not ashamed of being Christian, like I'm not ashamed of it, like God freed me, and like dude, that newborn faith
Yeah.
is freaking awesome. And so for him to say that, and he's like, I'll play my worship music while I got the homies in there. I was kind of like, dude, that's awesome. But if I'm in the seat, I'm a little upset with you. This music sucks, like, because it's like, as somebody that's been in the, and I'm not saying worship music sucks because it doesn't, there's definitely its time and place for me.
yeah.
I'm like you, where I kind of like worship music for me, like, I'm in prayer, I'm, reading the Bible, I'm studying, something, whatever, right? It really puts me on a focus,
Yeah.
and especially when I'm trying to communicate with God.
Oh, like sorry to cut you off. Like
Yeah.
to me also, it's like when I'm about to preach and I know I'm gonna preach, I find a specific song
Mm-hmm.
and I stick to that song related to what I'm gonna bring the message.
Oh,
on.
that's nice.
And it actually focuses me even more,
That's
even though it's on
nice.
repeat. And my wife's like, "Can you just change it?" I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
this is like my game, my
Yeah.
game phase music."
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
that's awesome.
So I mean, shout out to the homie.
Shout out for real, because he's telling me about that, and like that's legit. And then what I told him, I'm like, there's Christian rap, right? Because I know he used to listen to rap.
Yeah.
Because like even before he converted, like him and his brothers would come over to the house, and we would like play basketball and stuff, and I'd be putting on music, and I remember like there'd be times I'll play music, and he'll be like, "Dude, is this Little Yachty? Is this wait, who is this?" And like my brother-in-law and I will just like die laughing, because it's like, bro, I only play Christian music, you
Yeah.
know. And I was like, dude, it's Christian rap, dude. And I was like, it's like fantastic. You listen to worship music, that's awesome, but expand a little bit, because I know like you might get tired at some point, and I don't want you to feel like, oh, man, there's only worship music, and then you're gonna get tired. And I don't want you to like depart to try to look for secular music to fill in your need when there is that supply.
And you know how just related to people like who get to a certain like roadblock or like the what is it called, the plateau of it.
Yeah,
It's like when you start losing just off experience, right?
yeah,
When you start losing weight and you go into like the meal plan, right? And they tell you only eat chicken, turkey, fish, right?
yeah,
But then you get stuck into a point where like food turns boring to you, and you don't know what to eat
it's all
anymore.
bland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then they tell you can eat in moderation. You can eat a little bit of other things in moderations, and then that just opens up your whole
yeah,
your whole mind on it. When it comes to music, I'm the same way. Like I listen to a certain album or a certain artist for so long, and then I'm like, I'm tired.
yeah,
I'm tired of music. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So let's change it up a little bit. So then when I do that, it just opens up even more.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Christian music, right?
All right.
We're rooted in it, right?
Yeah.
We asked you a question right earlier. Is Christian music supposed to be? Was it created by God or was it inspired by God? So we look at like the rap genre, right? We look at the reggaeton genre, the
Yeah.
worship genre,
Yeah.
the praise genre. And I read something and I heard something, and I kind of want to chime in on that. But what do you think by that? What do you think?
This is a heavy question, because one, I think of what the Bible says, what God, commands over us. And he says that in everything that we do, we must honor and glorify him in everything. So that includes what I listen to. It's such an important thing to be able to, everything that you feed yourself off of, is it honoring and glorifying God? Otherwise, you should be questioning and you should be challenging yourself on that. Because if not, like, what are you allowing to enter you?
Yep.
And we look at, I believe it's Ezekiel, where it defines who Satan was, what he's like. It depicts his image, right? So, and I believe it's the King James version where it actually depicts where even when he moves, his body is like pipes, and sound comes out of him. That's the beauty of sound, right? And it's illustrating how beautiful it sounds. So, God being the all creator also created sound, created music. So, and his intention is to worship him. Angels are there to worship him, are there to honor, glorify him, to protect him, to honor his name, to do his will, right? obviously we see that later Satan says no, right? He's so proudful of the way that he is. God strikes him like lightning, right? And I think of how music was intended in heaven to glorify and worship him. It's a method of worship. That's what the sole purpose of music is. It's a worship. Now, what you're worshiping is dependent on the medium that you're listening to.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're listening to secular music, and like, dude, like, don't get me wrong, I was listening to AC/DC, I was listening to Queen. For example, Queen. Um, I I don't know if you remember, I told you this one
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
I was listening to Bohemian Rhapsody, and dude, I know that's I would sing that song all the time, and then I started reading the lyrics, and in part of the song, they state um, Beelzebul, right? And it says Beelzebul has a place for me, for me, for me, and they go higher and higher, right? And that part is so iconic.
It's like the climax of the song. Huh?
Yeah, it's one of those like it's one once the opera really starts to engage and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and it gets really high right there, and it climaxes, and then boom, it starts hitting, dude. And so, but who's Beelzebul? It's a name given to Satan in the Bible. One of them, at least. He has multiple titles. It references him as the snake, as the devil, as the Satan, as Beelzebul, right? He has multiple references. And so for Queen to say that, and me, again, I grew up in the church knowing who Beelzebul is. Unknowing what those lyrics are
Yeah.
saying, though. It's so important that you are watching, because if you're not paying attention, you're not registering it, brother, you might be taking in something that you're not supposed to.
And I'll even jump into this. There is Christian music
Yeah.
that is not biblical.
Okay, hit me.
Okay.
Let me see.
There's songs that may talk about God,
Yeah.
but they have no biblical background to it.
Okay.
Like, I'm just gonna, you might know this, right? And it's one of those things, those controversial things
Yeah.
that a lot of Christian people sing, right?
Okay.
Like, if I say I'm gonna come to God, but I'm gonna come empty-handed,
Okay.
how are you gonna come to God empty-handed?
Mm-hmm.
You got to come to God with something,
I see.
which whether it's your the last of what you have,
Yeah.
because nobody ever came to God empty-handed.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They came to
Or-
the altar to sacrifice.
But it was always
Yeah.
with something. Even
Right.
the elderly lady who came to Jesus
Mhm.
and offered her the last little bit of money that she had. It was
Right.
it was what she had
Yeah.
that she came to Jesus with.
Yeah.
So how in ourselves are going to come to God
Yeah.
empty-handed?
Mm.
You can't.
That's good.
You got to come from. You got to give God what you have left.
I like that.
Whether it's a tear,
Yeah.
whether it's your frustrations, whether it's your joy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You have to. You can't come empty-handed. Number two, right? If I speak on the root of change, right, and I'm speaking on that basis in the music, but then there's no change in me,
Mm.
and I'm still doing the same thing.
My preaching is empty. Yeah. That's tough. You know what? Like when you said that, something came to mind.
Okay.
And I had this conversation with your wife, and I don't think you were present at that time, but I was thinking, for example, there's that song like "Jesus Take the Wheel" by, I think it's Carrie Underwood or something like that, right? And there's a lot of artists that are renowned artists or primarily known as secular artists. Example, recently Nicki Minaj just dropped, I think, an album, and she dropped a song It's called, I think it's called Blessings. I could be wrong. Um, but on it, she's, it has some church analogies, or they bring up God, or
Mhm.
like in Carrie Underwood's song, Jesus Take the Wheel, right? This is something some people are going to disagree with me. Okay. And that's okay,
It's all right.
because I'm going to live by this, and I wholeheartedly stand by this. Is I don't allow a pastor to preach on my pulpit to try to feed me if you're not living in the right. Why is that so important? Like, as a church, like, if you're constantly sinning, if you need to be able to repent, and you need to fix your life first, fix your household, fix your situation. And I'm not saying that you got to be perfect to be a pastor. I'm not saying that, right? But for you to speak to a congregation and in that manner, like, I'm not going to allow that to be coming to me, giving me a preaching. If I don't allow that, why am I going to allow a musician that lives a lifestyle that is not of God, that is not in worship, and give me a single song or even one whole album dedicated to God if you're not living that life?
Well, you said it yourself, right?
Yeah,
It's an artist slash musician,
right.
right? It's not a worshiper
Exactly.
or
Yeah,
a Levite.
right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, Here goes another question.
Hit me. I
What
feel
do
like
you
I know.
think about Christian artists
Oh, okay.
who bring in?
Secular artists.
Yes.
Great question. I remember when Lecrae first did it.
Okay.
When Lecrae first started tossing in E40.
Hmm.
When he brought E40, do you know the amount of Christians that came at Lecrae? I remember this vividly. So many people started talking so much smack about Lecrae. Oh, you've fallen. Oh, you're not Christian anymore. You don't worship God. Do you not understand who E40 is, brother? Even Christians know who E40 is. E40, like, E40 is him. He's
Yeah.
one of the rap legends. Okay, and then Lecrae has had Ty Dolla Sign. He's had certain
Yeah.
artists, right? And to me, that's tough, because I feel like I do try to invite people that don't live the correct lifestyle. For somebody like Lecrae, where his time, a lot of his time is planned in the studio, right? Like, this is his life. Like, this is also his method of worship to God, and also a method to be able to evangelize to other people. Like, this is a method of evangelism. Like, there have been times, I know it's rap, but I have broke down crying in worship to God because of a rap song by Lecrae. Lecrae, there's a song he has called "Will You Take Me as I Am," and he's talking about, like, should I come to Christ? I can't come to church yet because I still got to fix my alcoholism. I still got to fix my situation before I come. And he's like, no, you got to come to Christ because of that situation. And so for Lecrae to open his doors to some artists to be able to possibly evangelize to them, is that not him planting a seed? Is that not him trying to guide them? I get in some situations, there's definitely going to be people that are going to be like, no, I'm not reverting to that
Yeah.
lifestyle. But I think that's part of Lecrae's pastoring and ministering, is to be able to, bro, this is, like, and honestly, you think about it, like, and a lot of African Americans, my people out there, bro, like, a lot of them grew up the gospel, grew up in the church, Kirk Franklin, listening to all this, right? Like, they lived and grew up in that lifestyle, like, for real, like,
Yeah.
a lot of them did, uh, and so a lot of them know the word, and they just strayed away, and so somebody like Lecrae might be the opportunity to get them in, to get them back, and that's how I see it. That's how I perceive it. So I think, like, in some cases, yeah, I think, like, not the greatest.
It's one of those challenging.
Yeah, but that's I like Lecrae. Shout out to you. Like for him to be able to continue taking the backlash from the church itself, saying Lecrae, you're an idiot for doing this. I can appreciate that. Why? Because people saw Paul as an idiot at times. People
Well,
saw Peter that way.
but do you see it more as a monetization aspect of it because of the name, or is it more inspired by it? Because
Some yes, I will
It-
say some yes.
if you look at the Ty Dolla Sign, it's a good song.
Yeah,
with Lecrae,
yeah,
really good song, right?
yeah.
But did I, to me, this is me personally,
Yeah.
right? Did I feel some sense of like connection to the song, or was it more of let me sell a couple bars? You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
But that's my only and same thing on Spanish music because I can speak a lot about Spanish music
Yeah.
too, where they bring in Nengo Flow or they bring in some type of artist to sing just a specific bar,
Hmm.
but then there's no really
Yeah, I think what we're talking are like two different situations, you know, because I think like yeah, in some cases 100%. I think there are some people that are just honestly doing it for, you know, clicks.
Okay.
100%. I think there are artists like in that
Popularity?
manner, yeah, you know, to be able to try to put themselves out there, you know, like that's almost like free advertising and marketing. You know, like
yeah,
it kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
And in those cases, I feel like that is a stretch. And however, in cases like, for example, like Lecrae or Andy Mineo, where like I don't know if you've ever hopped on their live and stuff like that. I mean I have,
I haven't honestly.
and they like for example, it's the same thing with Andy Mineo. He had an artist that did that, and I remember him saying like something along the lines of, "I don't need the money. God already blessed me." You know, I don't need to be able to showcase it in this manner. Like I don't need that. I'm an artist, yes, but I'm a worshiper first, you know? And I'm stating is there's definitely like you're stating there's definitely people that do it for the clicks or do it for the culture.
Yeah.
But there are people that are doing it for the kingdom. And I feel like Lecrae, from what I've seen in the situations with the way that he's, you know, he talks about it, and like I've followed him for a long time, you know, and not that I know you, Lecrae, you know, like that on the one-on-one.
Yeah.
At this point, I feel like I have. I've been listening since '04. But with somebody like that, it's like I'm bringing them in to be able to minister to them, to be able to bring them into my realm, taking them out of theirs because they're accustomed to that. Now, let me show you that we can still worship and have a great time and have a party, but also being kingdom minded. You know, I feel like you
Being sober.
exactly, you know, like let me say this. I saw recently there was I think in like Florida or something like that, they're like opening up this Christian club where it's like they're doing it to be able to just play Christian music and stuff like that, where Christians can go and they're gonna bump music, you know, like Christian music, again, Christian rap and stuff like that. And so a lot of people are like, that's awesome. You know, like we have a place where we can hang out besides church, obviously, because that's number uno, right?
Mhm.
And then after that, but we also have a hangout place where we can go and have a great time. No alcohol, obviously, you know, that kind of stuff, right? The part where you know you got to draw the line is I don't want to see no grinding in a Christian club. I don't want to see provocative females
Well,
or dudes.
let me tell you something. I never went to this one. There was one here in the valley,
I remember, yeah.
right? There was one in the valley.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. Can't speak on it. But just on the
So let's
rumors,
just drop it.
on the rumors that we heard,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Is that obviously it was a club ambience.
Yeah,
Lights were off, lights were on, but there were some things that weren't supposed to happen in there happened. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So do I it's like, why should we tempt
Yeah.
or even try to cross or borderline that specific line?
Mm-hmm.
Why? And they're using the sense of music to attract people.
Mm-hmm.
If music was created by God and it is inspired by God,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's necessary. Again, this is my point of view.
Yeah.
Necessary to even tempt with that line.
Yeah. I think there's definitely boundaries to it.
Yeah.
I do think that, like, because again, it's like you're saying, there's people, and think about this, is like, just because it's a Christian club doesn't mean that there's going to be non-Christians going in. What are you going to do? Show me your tattoo showing that you're Christian. Is your CCV sticker on the back of your car? Let me see that.
Your
you know,
bumper
like,
sticker.
yeah, like, come on, bro. Like, that ain't, let's be realistic. You know, there's going to be people that are going to go in there with malintentions. You know, like, in church itself, we've seen the spirit of Jezebel.
That is correct.
Why wouldn't it be in a club? Like, like the enemy's gonna get in any place that he can to be able to bring down the good
And
intention.
he would dress himself as a sheep,
Yeah,
knowing that he's a wolf.
yeah, exactly.
But if we put ourselves in perspective,
Yeah.
and let's kind of
Bring it back in.
bring
Yeah.
it back in, right? When I hear music,
Yeah,
not necessarily like hearing music, but like when I hear the topic music, a lot of people get mixed up as to what necessarily is music inspired by God, right?
mm-hmm.
And we talk a lot about testimonies, and we talk about
Yeah.
a lot about ourselves and what we are and what we've gone through. A lot of these artists, Christian artists, are speaking on are the rooted of their experiences, like the
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
Cray, right?
Yeah,
So I feel that there's multiple genres to attract and to try to hit people
exactly.
and try to get them into a position like, hey, I'm spinning bars, but I'm still speaking to the hood.
Hey, brother,
You know what
that
I mean?
was beautiful. Yes, that was poetic. William Shakespeare over here, dude. Let's freaking go. That was so spot on, because there are, like, for example, I've seen people saying like I've seen some old heads saying, "Oh no, you can't be listening to no reggaeton because, you know, that's not God's music."
Right.
What is God's music then?
Everything was created by God.
Right. But the thing is the enemy comes to be able to twist and manipulate, right? Because he wants to tear down, like, honestly, everything that God has, the enemy just does the vice versa. He twists it and manipulates it to benefit him, to be able to destroy us,
Yeah.
right? So music, God's, oh, now I'm replicating it. Now he just puts it on a pedestal so that way it overstands. It goes over our heads, and it is part of the culture now, to the sense where it takes over.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, I think R&B, like, dude, I listen to R&B, and there's like, and like, thinking about R&B right now. Okay, what's your opinion on, you know, we talked about, again, like, I said my opinion in regard to, like, you know, preacher on a pulpit, if that artist isn't living that style, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about just love songs?
Again, and I'm gonna go back to this. Biblical background.
Okay,
Give me biblical background.
yeah, King Solomon was a lover, man.
Exactly. But again, I'm not saying speak on just Bible verses into your song, right? But don't give me that. I'm gonna speak about love, but then I'm gonna speak about taking her to the bedroom.
Yeah,
Do you see what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
love, if we look at love, love supports it all.
yeah,
So speak on different various topics of what you want to speak about, having that biblical background, but don't try to bring in outside culture to try to make your song a hit.
Mm.
Because what is the culture of the music today?
Well, I mean, depending the genre, but
But let's just I speak to you in Christian country, right? Not Christian country, Spanish country, and English country. They're all coming along. How many how many curse words have to be in a song?
Oh yeah.
Like the profanity and even that genre, which before they were more of the lungs of love and conquering
Yeah.
somebody's heart and
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
God.
Now it's like I can't make another bar of music
Yeah.
without cursing.
Yeah.
And same thing with the rap, with the rap industry.
Oh brother. Yeah. I agree.
You can't,
agree.
you can't have a song without talking about somebody twerking.
Yeah. Booties flopping everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah. I agree.
or killing somebody,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to like love songs,
Yeah.
I think if the message is pure and there is no malicious intent to try to, how do I put the, not like I said profanity, but like disgrace a woman.
Yeah. Lust.
Yes. If there's no any sense of that in the song, and your song is pure, I think it's, to me it's okay.
I'm not touching anything unless the person is based biblically. I'm not. I refuse it because I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's so easy to fall down a rabbit hole. And I literally, there's not a single person that I don't encourage to do the same. Because I don't know about you, but I have felt easily where I can speak to somebody and you can feel when you're with that person or individual or group of people, the Holy Spirit's with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Lord is here and the conversation's so pure. And then you get with other people and not saying that the Holy Spirit isn't with you, but you can sense the fall or desperation in that individual or, you know, the honestly the feeling of being lost.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever felt that, you know. And for those individuals, it's like it's so easy to fall. It's and it is
Mhm.
because you have to set your foundation correctly. And for us people that and not just us people, I mean all people really. When you even allow the enemy an inch, then you're giving something when we should give nothing, right? Like we should take all that is ours because it's not his. The kingdom of heaven is meant for us. Hell was created for Satan. That doesn't pertain to me. So my foundation has to be set in that manner.
Mm-hmm.
So that and includes in everything that I do. At least it should, right? And so for my music, like again, this is a matter of worship. This is a matter of preaching. And I get it. Like it could be as pure as possible. There could be no curse words. Maybe they don't ever talk about booty and nothing like that. But if God's intent was in everything that we do, worship and honor me, yes, God said, hey, y'all gotta go, you know, spread and populate the earth. Yes, that's his command over us. And he said, and I bless it, you know, fantastic. But the way that we perceive things and the things that we allow into us, like there's music that I've seen that is love songs and it's intended towards Satan. Like artists that I have seen, like videos of them stating that song was written to Satan. That song was written to death.
Yeah.
You know, like that's
There's a lot of artists.
a lot.
You can do your own study at home.
A lot of them.
Who speak, even their music videos have a specific meaning.
Exactly.
I do say this, like if I get tired of something and I stop listening to music, I stop. Before, what I would do,
Mhm.
and this is where my downfall would start, and I knew already, was music.
Mhm.
Because once I gave the inch, right? When I gave the inch, he took
Yeah.
a freaking foot.
Yeah, because that means there's another area I can work with.
Right.
Because if you gave me this one, What says that you won't give me that
Let
one?
me go through the back door. You know what I mean? Or
Exactly.
you just open up a little bit of the window. I'll open up the rest.
Yeah.
So music is so powerful,
Huge.
so powerful.
And
That if you don't really listen to what you're listening to, or don't even study the lyrics that you're singing,
yeah.
brother, you gotta be careful.
Like I told you this one time, and there was this like one of the most painful surgeries in the world, being, I believe they extract bone marrow from your femur,
Mm-hmm.
and the amount of drugs that they have to give you can kill you alone.
It just sounds painful
As
itself.
if as if the pain wasn't bad enough.
Yeah.
Right. And what they did is, so for every patient that had to go through that, they would play, I think it was 15 or 30 minutes of Mozart right before your surgery.
Okay.
The amount of drugs that they have to give you afterwards, it's only by half. It's cut by half. Imagine the effect that that does to your physical body. The relaxation, the hormones that play into your body.
Well, look at King Saul. When he was being tormented, who was the only person that can calm him down? That was David and David's harp.
Crazy.
He specifically called David, "Come play for me. I'm freaking being troubled."
Hell yeah.
But again, it's not so much what David was playing, but who is playing. Who was David?
Yeah.
Again, David failed, right? He became
Yeah.
a murderer.
Right.
He became an adulterer.
Right.
And then word of God came to him. And what did he do? He went back to his roots, which is to separate himself from the outside world
Yeah.
and really consecrate himself as to what his roots were. So when we're listening to music, if it's giving us some type of torment or any type of bad, like
A conviction.
yeah, then separate yourself, homeboy.
Yeah.
Separate yourself, because at the end of the day, all music inspired by God will give you peace.
Amen. Legitimately.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all that doesn't, literally, if it doesn't worship God, then who's it for?
Exactly.
Who's it for?
To feed your ego.
To feed the enemy, to feed your lust, to feed whatever it may be. I've known people that have received spirits and demons from music. I have, and they needed to be liberated from it. That's real.
Music is powerful.
It's so strong, dude. And I think we think of it as such a minuscule thing, like it's just so tiny.
It's just something you play on your phone.
Yeah, it's like it's in every store.
Yeah,
And it's just like it's played everywhere. And the thing is like, bro, it's like the only Christian music is not on K Love. Okay?
That's right.
Like it's not. Like, dude, there's so much out there. And you shouldn't be limited to it. Like, dude, I have banda corridos. I have
I don't
R&B.
know when was the last time I listened to K-Love for that specific reason.
I don't. I got personally tired of it. And I get it. Like, if you love it, power to you, brother. But if you're one of us that got tired of it, dude, let us know. I'll
Tap in?
Yeah, we'll tag in like our playlist or whatever. Like you guys can play it too. Like because again, that's a tool to evangelize. That's a tool to be able. Hey, yeah, I gotta go pick up my homies, give them a ride. Let me play some music that they're gonna enjoy, so that way they can be like, hey, who's this? Because if it's able to edify them, why not? If it's
right.
able to build on it, why not? If
That's
they can
right.
plant the seed, let's do it. Like that's
Or
awesome
even
to me.
intrigued by it.
Yeah, dude.
Curious by it.
Yeah, I've had people that are like, dude, who the heck is that? Like, I'm a music person. I love listening to music. I don't play a single instrument, but gosh darn it, do I have music, dude? Like, I love it, and I would sit there with people, and then they'll be coming out with their songs, and they're bringing out secular artists after secular artists, and I'm like, hey yo, I bet you I'll bring an underground artist you've never heard of, and then they'll be like, let me see, and like this guy who was a DJ, so he listens to music for a living, and plays it, and then I pull out a song, he goes, dang, dude, who is that? I'm like, I told you, bro. I told you. Let me put you on something. And he's like, who the heck is this? I was like, I only listen to Christian music. And he's like, this is Christian? I was like, bro, you've been sleeping on my people. You've been sleeping on us for too dang long. And I'm upset.
Who created music?
Like, come on, bro. Come on. Thank you, brother. But I don't know about you. I think I'm done.
So am I.
I think that was
a wrap.
That was freaking awesome. Like, if you guys want to hear, some of our music, maybe every new episode we can put like 3 new songs on the bottom that we've been listening to that we enjoy, or we could just tag our playlist. Let us know what you guys want, what you guys think. But
Apple Music, Spotify, let us know.
Yeah,
we got you guys.
I'm on Apple Music, but you should still be able to
Amazon
see my playlist.
Music.
Yeah.
Hey, let us know.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. God bless you guys. Edify yourselves. Besides listening to us, listen to the Christian music. God bless. Later.
Peace.